These are the 10 hidden reasons of why you probably have brain fog. The very first hidden reason of why you have brain fog, and I see this so many times with my patients and clients, especially my ADHD patients, is that I will see a big issue with a micronutrient deficiency. And there could be several different micronutrient deficiencies that can contribute to brain fog. Some of the biggest ones that I do see is, for example, vitamin B12, because vitamin B12 has a lot to do with helping with building and processing different neurotransmitters, but it also has been shown when someone is severely deficient in vitamin B12, they could be disoriented, it can contribute to dementia, it can contribute to memory issues, is because vitamin B12 is very vital for building and making myelin, which does cover and wrap a lot of our different neurons, so it's definitely very important. But some other micronutrient deficiencies that can contribute to your brain fog is, for example, vitamin D. When we see people who have vitamin D deficiencies, it's definitely one of the contributing symptoms that they will experience is brain fog along with having fatigue. And one of the biggest ones that I see, especially amongst my ADHD patients, is being deficient in iron. Now, why iron is so vital is because iron is one of the most important nutrients to carry oxygen and blood to our brain. And if you're deficient on that, you're not only going to feel fatigued, but you're also going to have symptoms of brain fog if you're deficient in iron. And another big one is being deficient in magnesium. Magnesium is very important for energy production, but also is a very vital electrolyte. When it is deficient, you can see symptoms of brain fog. The second hidden reason that you can have brain fog, now this has to do with something that you're probably exposed to that you don't even know that you're even aware about. In fact, it's in your house. And it is something I've seen firsthand multiple times with patients and clients where if they are suffering with brain fog, but they might even have the issues of fatigue and can't sleep very well, I will always ask the question, have you ever checked your house for mold? Because mold is very toxic, not only for the body, but specifically the nervous system. It definitely impacts the brain and definitely will impact your cognitive output, especially will have symptoms of brain fog if you are exposed to mold, especially if you're very sensitive to it. So if you never checked your house for mold, definitely do a simple test to check to see if there is a severe exposure of mold. And if there is, you're definitely going to clean that out. But even more likely, if it's really bad, you might have to move to a different place just to help eliminate the brain fog situation you might be dealing with. The third has a lot to do with over time of how we do eat and consume things. And when we're exposed to many foods that we introduce to our body, over time, people can deal with issues with their stomach. But more importantly, can deal with what we call as leaky gut syndrome, or someone who also deals with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, or if someone has severe candida overgrowth. I have seen this multiple times again, where this becomes more and more of a problem, where these two factors of a leaky gut and candida overgrowth can definitely interrupt not only helping feed the body, but also help feed the brain, but it also does disrupt the neurotransmitter building process because 90 to 95% of a lot of our different neurotransmitters are made in the gut. And when you have a leaky gut or irritable bowel syndrome, or you have candida overgrowth, it's going to disrupt that process, which can contribute to symptoms of having brain fog, but also even symptoms of even feeling fatigued and tired. Along those same lines of things that you do eat can impact definitely your brain fog. And so the fourth hidden secret has a lot to do with basically having imbalance and fluctuations of your blood sugar levels. Now, why this is important to stabilize and why it impacts brain fog is when your blood sugars dip or spike, you can definitely have symptoms of brain fog. And if you are very sensitive, if you're either hypo or hyperglycemic, it definitely is going to contribute to symptoms of brain fog. And so it's very important to stabilize that blood sugar by implementing things like protein consistently throughout the day to help stabilize that blood sugar throughout the day. And the fifth one still goes along with food, but also environmental exposures. So there are certain things that you might be allergic to environmentally, but also things that you take internally, such as food, that you can be allergic to. And if you are sensitive to any of those things, it can contribute to your brain fog. It can cause the brain fog situation because what's happening when the body recognizes something as a threat, it's going to release a lot of different immune cells to protect the body, especially the brain, because the body is trying to not make sure that it gets overinflamed, especially throughout the body and also the brain. And so therefore, it could be a food or an environmental allergy that you're being exposed to that can contribute to your brain fog. So what I highly recommend here is to do a scratch allergy test for both environmental and foods to really see if you do have a true food allergy or environmental issue. And if you do, then it's good to at least eliminating that exposure to that completely, whether that's internally or environmentally, or at least start cutting back from it. The sixth hidden secret to your brain fog can definitely be a situation with your thyroid. Now, you don't have to be someone that has hypo or hyperthyroidism for having a brain fog situation. Now, that definitely will contribute to having brain fog. It's very common amongst people who have thyroid issues, severe thyroid issues, but I'm also talking about having other thyroid functionality issues. Now, a lot of people think that it's just the thyroid that we have to look at, but there's other interstitial tissues that deal with thyroid hormones. Things such as the liver, also our digestive system, our heart do make thyroid hormones. And if those aren't working optimally, it's what I call as interstitial thyroid issues, something that's happening outside of the actual thyroid gland that cannot be working optimally and not making the hormones it needs to. Now, why does this contribute to brain fog? Well, when there is a decrease in certain thyroid hormones, especially happening within the interstitial tissues, you can have the symptoms of brain fog, but also contribute to even also fatigue as well. Now, if you're definitely suffering with brain fog, low energy, and focus issues, then you should download my All Day and Focus Energy Guide in the description below. The seventh one has a lot to do with also still hormones, and not just thyroid hormones, but also looking at the possibility of other different hormones that could be changing as you develop over the years, or also going through menopause. These definitely can contribute to your brain fog situation. So the hormones I'm referring to is definitely looking at testosterone, progesterone, and estradiol are some of your biggest ones, but also even DHEA, which does help build both testosterone and also estradiol. And if these are deficient or elevated, they will definitely contribute to causing brain fog symptoms. So if you have never had those checked, definitely check them to see if there could be a possibility imbalance going on there that could be contributing to your brain fog situation. And number 8, this one maybe not be as hidden, but it's probably something you overlooked. And this has to do with your sleep. If you are definitely sleep deprived, have insomnia, you better believe you're going to have a brain fog situation on your hands. So if you are not getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep consistently, if you're getting disrupted sleep, that can definitely contribute to your brain fog situation because your body and your brain needs sleep. And if it's not getting adequate amount of sleep, you're gonna have those brain fog symptoms most days. And the 9th one, you probably don't think you're really stressed out, but if you are even subtly stressed in some capacity, and a lot of people just write this off, you will have symptoms of brain fog. It's very common to see that where people who are high stress or even just have some stress in their life and they're not resolving it, it will cause several different types of symptoms, but one of them definitely being brain fog. And the 10th one, this one's definitely overlooked a lot, is that if you are taking any type of medications, there's lots of different symptoms you can get from taking medications. And brain fog is definitely one of them. And so if you have not checked with your doctor to ask, hey, could my medication be causing brain fog? Definitely ask them because it can be contributing to that. And it might be a good idea to switch it or maybe change the dosage because sometimes even doing too high of a dose of something can also contribute to brain fog. And as far as it comes to brain fog, it's great to know the reasons why, but what are some of the things that you can be implementing that can help with your brain fog? Well, you should watch this video next where I talk about the 5 best supplements that actually do help with brain fog. So watch this video next.